Hello and welcome back. So in this video I'll be mocking up some headlights, and with that I'll be updating the cone design to go with it as well. One reason I'll be doing this is because I want to start working on the bracketry from the headstock to the dash and the headlights. And then I can start working on all the mountings for all the fairings and start making them a bit more complete. So you can see I've been playing around with the shape of the headlights and also just modeling in some rough bulbs just to see what I can do in terms of appearances. When I was going through the appearances, I found that we have an emissive section and we can apply a bulb texture. And what this does is, as we can see from this texture, it says at 800 lumens. So this one will actually emit up to 800 lumens of light. To most of us that probably doesn't mean much, but if we come into our scene settings, we'll see that our brightness here is probably too high for our texture to be visible. So if we change this, we see we get this glow from our headlights. It's not really very bright, or it's not really doing much now, but once we go in canvas render, we can see it starts to have this glow, and we'll start to see little bits of light on the floor. So I realized that since it states the amount of lumens that these textures are emitting, that we can probably change that, but we can't change the standard parts, so we have to duplicate them first and then go into editing the settings. Lo and behold, we have a luminance slider. So I whacked it right up and we apply it to our bulbs. And then take a look what happens when we go into our render space now. We get a much stronger glow, much brighter light coming from these bulbs. So eventually I will model the reflective surfaces within the headlight, but for now I'm just going to mock up a concept of the shape and the body so I can start considering the mounting points. So I position a joint in the nose area, and I've created an assembly for the headlight with the headlight housing. Additionally, I'm going to make a headlight cover and then the lens, and then add in the bulb elements. And because I want it to be nice and flush with the surface of the nose cone here, I'm going to be using the surface forming tool to create that surface, at least to start with, and then we'll move on to some standard surface modeling. So you'll have to excuse this very rough concept. I've never actually modeled headlights before, so this is all just kind of from memory with very few reference images. Usually if I'm going to be modeling something in a bit more detail or that's a bit more complex, I'd be going to the showrooms and just trying to get as many reference images and try to really build the image in my mind as well. Then I'll probably do some rough sketches on paper, and if not paper, then I'll be using the sketchbook on the tablet. And once I have the image, the concept, I'll be looking at the shapes that I've put in there and just trying to think how I'm going to be modeling it, what's going to be the easiest way to model this. So I think usually moldings and castings are typically made up of very standard shapes, just combined in various different ways to make some more interesting geometry. But because the fairings and the bodywork are generally more complex shapes with this complex curvature, they're a bit more complicated to think about how to model and how to combine these surfaces. So to really get better at modeling, it's really good to experiment with modeling all sorts of different things. If you limit yourself to one particular type of component, you're probably going to get very good at making that kind of component, but I think it's going to start restricting your imagination and your creativity so that it becomes less natural and less easy to make other shapes. And if you're new to 3D CAD and you're just hoping to get better at it, I really recommend, if you have any components of something that you're interested in, just taking a look at that, looking at the shapes it's made up of, and see if you can make that in 3D CAD. So my videos have mostly been my process modeling various components that I'm modeling at the time, and then I try to share any other manufacturing considerations along the way. But if you are interested in a more tutorial style video, it kind of works best with a more generic component So I've decided to do that with the front and rear wheels, the front fork lowers, the brake discs, and the brake caliper. And just to throw something else interesting in there, I'll also go over a rear suspension unit like this one right here. Now I modeled this one a few years ago, so I think it's about time I model a new one. So because they're basically standard across all motorcycles, they're not exactly the same, they've all got their kind of unique styling and design, but in general they are the same shape, they have the same function. A lot of the design elements are the same as well, typically because they'll be made by OEMs. OEM meaning original equipment manufacturer. For example, Nissan make brake calipers for a number of different manufacturers, same as Öhlins makes a number of different suspension units for different manufacturers. So since you have so many common design elements, I think they'll be ideal as tutorials, which I'll be featuring on the channel soon. But this channel is not just about 3D CAD. It is going to be including other topics of motorcycle engineering, getting deeper into more advanced motorcycle dynamics. Typically the design engineers and the CAD operators, they don't need advanced motorcycle dynamics knowledge. This is something that's used mostly by race teams and the development team. So if you're interested in a career in development, that would be taking the bikes to the tracks, having test riders ride them, taking their feedback and input, making modifications to the frame, passing on information back to the design team, and developing the bike. I really recommend, if you can get the experience, to join and help a race team, learn about data logging and data analysis. You might start with very simple things like rake and trail, squat, lean angle, and then with knowledge of the engine power output and the gear ratios, you can start calculating the maximum acceleration. And then with knowledge of the center of gravity, we can calculate the point of front wheel lift. And then if you have a map of the track, we can start calculating potential lap times using the point of front wheel lift as your maximum acceleration and your lean angle for your optimum turn radius. So that would be simulating your optimum lap times, but it's not really analyzing what is actually happening. And that's what I want to start going over from now. So back to the 3D CAD. I now have my headlights and I'm just applying the emissive surface texture to these bulbs. Now the housing is usually just a plastic molded part. It's usually black, so I'm just going to apply that black surface texture here. Now to simulate the reflectors inside the headlights, I'm just going to put the very low emissive surface texture on the back of the housing. So now, as I did before, I need to come into the scene settings and lower the brightness. So now we can see it's really starting to look like a proper set of headlights, except for the fact that we got a lot of light leaking from the back. And that's because I've mistakenly left the cover open, exposing the bulbs. So here I just mock in some caps just to close that off. So with those capped off, I'm just going to apply texture so it's not this standard default color. And then I'll apply this nice amber color to the lenses. Now the color of the lenses doesn't actually affect the light that's being emitted. If we do want to change that color, if we go into the materials and edit the one that we've made, there is actually a color in the emissive section. So this is the end result. In the future I will do the same for the rear tail lights, except in that case I will be changing the emissive color to red for the brake lights, for example. So what's next for this project? Off camera I'll be working on various elements relating to the frame, but the upcoming videos will include things like the wheels, the brake calipers, suspension units. As always, if you stuck around to the very end of the video, thank you very much, it's really appreciated, and I hope you can take something useful away from this video.